Peace, I'm Tayler Clem. I go by she, her, and I am a wellness professional. I'm a mother, I am a wellness advocate, specifically ancestral wellness. So anything connected to our roots and nature, bringing people back to nature is what I do, is what my passion is, and what I inspire others with. I identify as a woman, a healer, a mother, a sister, a daughter, a sacred being. I identify as magical. I identify as nature. I am nature and nature is me. Some of the key aspects of my identity that shape who I am is, I am a joyful being. So one of the things that I share with folks is to find your joy and to heal the world with it. And so I've been blessed to be able to find what brings me joy and to heal with it, So I find joy in nature. So the sun, the moon, the water, the bees, the trees, the plants, all the things in nature are just very joyful to me. And so I use that joy to heal the world with it through sharing it with the community, getting people reconnected to nature and living in harmony with nature. And that in turn brings more joy to me, being able to share, that joy with others. What drives my passion is the joy and the liberation. So I truly believe that our people are just surviving now. And I know that there was a time that we thrived. And so I think that's what fuels me to continue on and to know that there is a higher place, that we all as individuals can be our higher selves. And then as a collective, we can thrive together. So that's what continues to fuel me and to know this isn't it. There's more to it. There's more joy to it. We don't have to be stressed out and living in this system of just oppression. So there's just more, there's joy. Okay, so currently I host a lot of trainings and workshops. So I'm an ancestral wellness teaching artist. So what that means is I can teach you how to live like our ancestors once did. So right now, one of my biggest things is a maternal nutrition training that I host, where we are training food wellness leaders how to nourish their bodies before, during, and after birth. And just to make sure that they know how to grow their own food, prepare their own food, nourishing food, the importance of eating seasonal and local food. And so that is one of the biggest things that I am doing right now. And it is extremely important in the reproductive justice conversation because we're talking about the mom, the mother, the one who brings life into this world, and we're talking about the womb. So if we are having wombs that are not nourished through our food, then the conversation is now fibroids or infertility or hysterectomies or birth, all of the things that are a ripple effect of a malnourished womb. And so my work is very important. I'm in spaces where women are coming together, sharing stories about their womb and sharing stories about their life, their journeys, their wellness journeys, and we're able to heal together. So we're creating healing circles as well in these training spaces. But it's just extremely important to use food as medicine. And once we realize that and reclaim that birthright, we will really be able to move the needle on the reproductive justice world. We will really be able to find justice in our reproductive organs. Reproductive justice to me means that you are able to do what you have to do for your body. You're able to make decisions for yourself, that you are able to make healthy decisions for yourself without anyone or any system being in the way of that. it is a reproductive justice is something that I've learned a lot recently with being in this cohort, the reproductive cohort. But to me, it's still always, getting back to our roots. So it means to me to connect with our sisters and coming together and doing nourishing things like this retreat that we hosted, dancing, singing, being able to care for ourselves in the way that we need to. So it really means to me just caring for ourselves for us, by us, without anyone or anything in our way. So it's basically doing for us. We know since the beginning of time how to care for ourselves. We've always known that, and we still know that. But when people start to put policies and procedures and all these systems in place, then it affects our bodies. So reproductive justice is when we are doing for ourselves without those systems. Society, our people need to know about reproductive justice because it is life. It is how we are created. Reproductive means like we're producing life, we're creating life. So it's not just for the mother either, it's the family unit. How are we, everyone has a family, everyone was born and placed into this world. So we need to highlight it because it's literally how we're populating the planet. So we need to have a stronger understanding on the importance of caring for the people who are speaking out. We are yelling, saying, this is our rights, this is what we want, this is what we deserve, and we just need folks to listen to that. But it's very important that people understand, because if you don't understand, you're going to continue to oppress and create systems and policies and things that don't align with our higher selves or just align with a healthier person. So if you don't understand or understand, then of course you're going to make these decisions, or maybe you do understand, but it's just so important that there's a stronger movement for reproductive justice, because again, it's life. We are birthing a nation, and without us doing that, we have nothing. So there's so many pillars and principles that we can focus on when we're thinking about creating a joyful society, a joyful place that we can thrive in. And the first thing that comes to mind for me is spirituality. Being able to connect with your higher self is so important. And so it's very hard to do that when you don't have faith, or your mind is clogged with the daily life things. But spirituality, I'm learning more and more each day, is so very important. And so what that looks like for me is being able to be silent. So some meditation, maybe a walk in nature around the trees, listening to the birds, grounding. So being barefoot in the soil, cleansing yourself in the water. That's how you tap into your higher self. And I think that's very important. Prayer is, of course, one. Journaling. There's so many things that can be placed under spirituality, but it's a very important piece when we're thinking about a nation that thrives, is having faith that there is a better tomorrow, and putting that faith into practice with those daily affirmations and those daily things, rituals that you do. So that's the first thing, is like really tapping in spiritually. And then once we all individually do that, everything else will fall into place. If the mom starts first, then the dad, and then the sisters, the mom, everything falls into place. But it's so important to understand how much power that we all individually have within ourselves. We have so much power and magic within ourselves that we can tap into. And so that's the first piece for a thriving nation. The second thing is always going to be nature. Nature is here for us. And there's so much healing in nature. And so we are a society that's very disconnected from nature. And I believe that was very intentionally done. But because of that, we are just out of tune, we're out of balance. So nature is a very important principle that we have to bring back into our lives so that we can become more in harmony and in balance. So again, that means grounding. That means, surrounding yourself by plants. That means, having a garden, eating plants, drinking your teas. It just means so much. We live in cities, we're surrounded by concrete jungles, and it's just not okay because it's having a huge impact on our people and their well-being. So those two are very similar, but the last thing I would say is just unity. I'm a big, we celebrate Kwanzaa in my family. And so they have 7 principles, and the first principle is umoja, which is unity. And unity is a very important principle because we cannot do things by ourselves. We are not by ourselves type of people. We are a village, and we are operating outside of that village. And it shows because we're all stressed, we're all suffering in silence, we all are dealing with the same issues. Last year I found out that I was having some womb issues, and then I told my mom, and she tells me that both my sisters are dealing with the same thing. And it's like, why are we all just suffering in silence? But that's not just my family, that's a lot of us. We're all dealing with the same issues. We're all stressed out by the same stuff. We're all eating poorly. We're all having issues with childcare and all of these things. But when we operate in a village, all that will change. So that unity piece is so very important for a thriving nation. And there's so many more, but I'm gonna just leave it at those 3 to make sure that we can thrive. So there are many changes that we need to put in place in order to make sure that reproductive justice is fully realized. However, the first thing that I think of is just listening to us. Listening to us. We've been screaming, yelling, shouting to the mountaintops that we are not being well taken care of, and we're offering many solutions. There are solutions all across the nation of how when we take charge of our own health, our own bodies, that we're able to thrive. We're able to really see results, successful and healthy communities from when we take care of ourselves. So I believe the first action that needs to be taken is just to listen to us and let us lead. We must lead our own revolution. We must lead our own wellness journey. We have to fund those people who are in charge or that are doing the necessary work, like Ignite New Voices for Reproductive Justice. We need to make sure that those are well funded and that we are leading this movement. We must lead this movement, and we must, if you want to be a part of it, be a part of it in a way that doesn't affect how we move. Okay, so fund it, sure, or support us, connect us to the people we need to be connected to, but for the most part, we need to lead our revolution movement. I believe there are many barriers for our people, all different type of walks of life, but one of the biggest barriers that comes to mind is the fact that we are again, just not in charge of our bodies. We have so many people and things that are telling us to do this, eat this, get on this, take this pill, or, oh, you're fine, oh, you're not in enough pain. Like, we have too many people that are not focused on healing and real healing. So, I look at everything from an ancestral approach. And we took really good care of ourselves, since the beginning of time. So we were able to go to the roots or the trees or the bark or the plants for medicine or the water. We were able to do those things when we need healing. And we also didn't see as many issues that you see going on nowadays, even for things like abortion and things. We knew how to do that with plants. So there's many reasons, or there's many things that we can return to, and we could find we'll find that we'll have a better life if we just return to some of the ways, the wisdom of our ancestors. But yeah, the biggest barrier, I think, is just that we are just not in harmony with ourselves, with nature. We are nature. Our moon cycle is connected to the moon cycle, and a lot of us don't know that. We grow up and we are told to hate our period, or maybe not taught, but we're just not educated on how powerful it is and how cleansing it is and the purpose of it. And so we grow up like despising it. We don't know how to nourish our womb and feed her the right foods and to tap into her creative power, or bind her up. I wear my belly binder for support and love and extra nourishment for my womb. But we're not taught those things, and I think that's a big disconnect. And we used to be taught those things. And so, yeah, that's the biggest barrier, is that we're just not in touch with nature. So some of the things that Dawa is the Kiswahili word for medicine. And so that is my business, my ancestral wellness education brand. And so through Dawa, we do a lot of education for women. So the mother is my primary focus, the Dawa Mama. So a Dawa Mama is a woman who returns to nature to heal herself, her family, and her community. And so that's a lot of the work. So we have an online platform. We do a lot of in-person or virtual workshops and trainings. And it started off just with food and nutrition, but I soon realized that, wellness is there's so many more pillars to it. And one thing that we've transitioned into is spiritual wellness. In addition to nutritional wellness, but also mental wellness and all of these things. But womb wellness is a big piece to what we do. And that just makes sure that folks know how to nourish their womb, how to take care of her, how to love on her. One of the things I also did was create a Dawa Mama womb journal. So it's a journal that allows women to connect and unpack as well. So it asks questions like, how did you grow up? Or how did you grow up? What was your connection when you were growing up with your womb? All of these questions and prompts and things are intended for us to build a deeper connection with our bodies, with our womb, in order to know how to care for her and to help pass that information down to our daughters and our unborn children. It's so important that we gain healthier relationships with our womb, and we make sure our daughters know that as well. So yeah, that's what Dawa is doing. Yes, I believe that the reproductive justice movement and people who are in that work could support it better by listening and making sure that we are actively listening to the people that are dealing with the issues. I just will leave it at that, just to listen. I think that we just really have a huge listening problem in this world. We just talk too much, and we don't know how to be silent. And I think being silent sometimes is the answer to many of our problems, and can help with the reproductive justice movement, is when we listen to the people like New Voices who are telling you, we need this, we know this, we are doing this, let us do this. So just to listen and not always need to say something. Just listen and let us move. Again, we are a together type of people. So something that will benefit my work and just the work of the reproductive justice world would be to continue to fund us for doing this. So again, like I said, I've been able to gather 100 women in the city of Pittsburgh and train them as food wellness leaders. But we can do more. We could do more. And so we can fund them to eventually train other folks. We're training trainers. So we need to be able to have funds for these things. We've also been blessed to be able to incentivize our leaders with this, who take the training, and we need to be able to be funded to do that as well. We need a living, so we need to be able to pay our people. So I believe that is the biggest thing, and then just collaboration. So there's a disconnect with collaborating, and not just in the same space. So how can we collaborate with someone in a different city that is thriving and has already been doing something that is working? How can we connect? So that is one of the beauties of New Voices, is how we were able to come together for this cohort across cities, Cleveland, Philly. It was just so amazing to see all these people from different walks of life connect. And so I believe if we can continue to do that more, we would truly benefit. But yeah, just collaborating and just funding the people who are doing the right, necessary work. Wellness is very important in my life. It plays a huge role. It's everything. I think I'm known in my family as like the health fanatic, and it's been a long journey, and I learn every day, but it plays a huge role. It's something that I'm able to teach my children. I'm able to educate them and share things with them that I wasn't brought up on, because this is relatively new to me, this world of caring for yourself holistically. And so being able to share that with my children, it's a beautiful dynamic to be able to see them put into practice some of the things that I was able to teach them, or being able to go to a family member's house and say, "Oh, we don't eat that. That's not good for our bodies," So yeah, it's a lifestyle. It plays a huge role. People in my community are now coming to me and asking me questions about their wellness and how they can, get on their wellness journey. I'm able to inspire people. So it's a true lifestyle. I get inspired by wellness practitioners all across the world. One of my favorite things to do is travel to go to see someone who is in the wellness world. That's one of my things. I don't see celebrities, but let me go to like a wellness professional conference or something, and I'll just be the happiest person in the room. But yeah, it's a huge role. It's everything. It's how we find our joy. It's how we, get reconnected to that thriving lifestyle that we once had and that we will get back real soon. Prioritizing self-care is major. It's something that I've struggled with, and I learned, but I'm surrounding myself with people, and even like on social media, I surround myself with people who love on themselves and who encourage folks to love on yourself. But the way that I practice it is by making sure I have those rituals. So whether it may be having my fresh flowers on my table that bring me joy and bring me life, or having my plants surrounded, is like a self-care ritual. Movement is major for me. It's medicine. Movement is medicine. And so dancing is very important to me. And that's how I take care of myself. Another practice is wrapping my belly, especially during my moon cycle, being able to protect her and comfort her and give her warmth and nourishment just by binding her up is very important. That's a self-care practice. My herbal tea, so I drink tea every day. Being able to curate different tea based on my needs or my desires is very important to my self-love, for my self-love. And I'm kind of sad now because it's getting cold outside, but normally I would say the sunshine and just being outside is my ultimate on the top of the list of just, how I take care of myself. It's just being in the sun, anything in the sun, my feet in the soil, just being outside. Nature is the most high, and it's how I get charged up. Self-care and activism is something that I see is not prioritized that much. We might speak on it, but it's not really there. And you see that because you see people who are activists, who are dealing with a lot of health issues, who are burnt out, who are just tired, not getting quality rest. Some of the advice that I would give to those people who aren't able to balance that activism and self-care is to create maybe one ritual and do that for 30 days and see how that feels, and then to do, add on to that. But that first ritual, I would say, it's tough to figure it out or which one, but I would say it's prayer. To pray on it, to maybe write a prayer of just like what you want, how you see yourself, how you see, what does self-love look like? If I was thriving, if I was mentally well, physically well, what would that look like? Create that into a prayer and speak it every day for at least 30 days. But, there's so much power in our words and our affirmations, how we speak into things. If we're constantly saying, like, we're waking up, we're saying, oh, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, my back aches, I have these constant headaches, all of these symptoms that we get from when we're just out of balance and we're not taking special care of ourselves, or we're always on the move and we're not nourishing ourselves with food or, properly with the proper food. So it's just so important to, when those things are hard to reach, it might be hard to change what you're eating, but it's very simple to speak some words. So I would say to start with prayer and be consistent with that. Yeah, so call to action. This is my favorite part because we need to be more active as a community to see the results that we want. So my call to action to challenge more folks to support reproductive justice, it would be to think about your the generations to come that after you. So we have to make sure that our unborn children are set up for the future. And so it's very important to think about who's coming after us. Sometimes we have a very single-minded focus, and we don't think past us, and that's not good. And so I would say to think about all of the unborn children and what world they're being raised into, and thinking about how we can make that better. So how could you make that better? So I would encourage you to create your ideal world, so write it out. So I'm a real big fan of writing things out, but I would encourage folks to write out how they see this world of a thriving, healthy community where our bodies are healthy and vibrant and we don't have so much oppression going on. I would write that out. I encourage you to write it out, create that vision in your head, put it on paper, and to review it, speak on it, share it. I encourage you to share it. And then the last thing that I want to challenge people to do is to learn about the power of your womb. Even folks who no longer have that physical womb, you still have a womb spirit. So it's so important to understand how powerful, creative, how the universe is. It's literally a universe inside of your womb. So I encourage you to learn about it and to use that magic to create and to birth, to create anything that you want in life, including that vision that I challenge you to write down of what a healthy, vibrant community looks like where we are thriving. All right, so I am Tayler, the Dawa Mama, and you are a Dawa Mama as well, or a Dawa Papa, or a Dawa baby, or whatever you want to be. But Dawa is simply medicine, nature's medicine. And so I encourage you to follow our journey and to join our family, the Dawa family. You can do that by going to www.dawaisjoy.com. So dawaisjoy.com. That is DAWAIS joy.com. You can find us on Instagram at Dawa Mama, and all other online platforms at Dawa_Mama. And we have a lot of things going on. We have weekly journals that we put out. We have newsletters. We have blog posts. We have lots of free workshops. So we have a free workshop once a month where you come and you learn about a specific topic. The last one that we did was about your organs. So how to make sure that we are caring for all of our organs of elimination. So that's like your kidney, your liver, all those things. So yeah, we have a lot of stuff going on. We can come to you, we travel, but we need to build our community. We need to strengthen our community. So please join the Dawa family. Again, that is dawaisjoy.com. Okay, peace.